Every time this question comes up online, Europeans lose their mind.
No!
Why do Americans build houses out of wood? That's so cheap. It's so flimsy. Why not use brick like the rest of the world?
Why not?
And every single time, the people answering it have never framed a wall in their life. I have 12 years as a union carpenter, 6 years as a project manager. That's 12 years as a UNW inspector altogether for 30 years of blue-collar work. And I'm going to tell you something that might surprise you. American wood frame construction isn't the cheap option, it's the superior option. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why the rest of the world got this all wrong. Before we get into this, take a second and hit that subscribe button and notification bell. I'm bringing you the blue-collar perspective on stuff like this every single week in some of the top-paying blue-collar jobs in the entire nation. It's free, it helps us out, and I appreciate you a lot, guys. So let's get into it. So let's start with what most people think, the internet version. The version that gets 1,000 upvotes every time someone posts a picture of an American house being framed. The narrative goes like this: Americans are cheap. They use wood because it's the bargain bin option. European houses are built with real materials, brick, stone, concrete. That's why they last hundreds of years, they say. But American houses, they'll blow away in a storm. Sounds reasonable, right? But there's just one problem. Almost every part of that argument is either wrong or missing the full picture. And I'm going to break that down exactly why. Not as some architect sitting behind a desk, not as some random internet commentator, but as a guy who spent 12 years actually building these things. Because the real answer to why does America build with wood isn't one reason, it's 5. And the last one is the one that nobody on the internet even mentions. So let's go through them one by one. So let's start with the obvious one, the one even the internet gets half right. When European settlers arrived in North America, they landed in the middle of the largest softwood forest on the entire damn planet. We're talking millions of square miles of virgin timber, pine, oak, cedar, Douglas fir, stretching from the Atlantic coast all the way to the Pacific. There was so much wood in North America that by 1790s, New England alone was exporting 36 million feet of pine boards every single year. By 1830, Bangor, Maine was the world's largest lumber shipping port. Now look at Europe. By the time America was being settled, Europe had already been deforested for centuries. The great forest of England, France, and Germany, they were all gone. Cut down for ships, for fuel, and for farmland. Europe didn't choose brick and stone because they thought it was better materials. They chose brick and stone because they ran out of trees. That's not a flex, that's a limitation. But that's the only reason, number one. And it's not even close to the most important one. Now pay attention, because this is the part of the story that almost nobody knows. In 1833 in Chicago, a carpenter figured out something that would change construction in America forever. Before that moment, building a wood house required heavy timber framing, massive posts, massive beams connected with hand-cut joinery. You needed highly skilled craftsmen and a lot of expensive wood. It was slow, it was labor intensive, but two things had just become cheap for the first time: machine-cut lumber and mass-produced nails. What if instead of using a few massive timbers held together with complicated joints, you used a whole bunch of small, lightweight studs, 2x4s, nailed together, lighter, faster, and you didn't need a master craftsman to do it. Any carpenter with a hammer and a saw could frame a wall. They called it balloon framing, and they meant it as an insult. People looked at these lightweight structures and said, they'll blow away like a balloon. Well, they didn't. They were strong, they were fast, and they were cheap. And by 1834, a simple balloon frame house could be built in a week. Within a decade, the technique had spread across the country, and it became the reason why America could expand westward as fast as it did. Every frontier town, every railroad stop, every mining camp and farming settlement, balloon framing. Today, over 90% of single-family homes in the United States are built with platform framing. One carpenter's idea in 1833 is the reason your house today looks the way it does right now. And here's what gets me about this story. I framed houses for 12 years. I've stood on platform frame floors, nailed studs into plates, sheathed walls with plywood, and I didn't learn the history until I started researching for this video. Nobody tells you. You learn the skill, but nobody teaches the story behind it. And that bothers me because what those early carpenters figured out wasn't just a shortcut, it was an engineering revolution. Alright, let's talk about the part that makes the brick crowd real quiet. Wood frame construction in 2026 costs between $150 and $250 per square foot. Brick and masonry, $200 to $350. On a 2,000 square foot house, you're looking at a difference of $100,000 or more. But the cost difference isn't even the biggest advantage. It's the speed. A crew of 4 carpenters can frame a standard residential house in a matter of days, not weeks, days. A brick mason could only lay so many bricks per day. The labor hours required for a brick house are 3 to 4 times higher than a wood frame house. Every attempt to build American houses with brick at scale has failed commercially. Not because brick is bad, because the math doesn't work. And there's another piece people never think about. Wood framing integrates electrical, plumbing, and insulation way easier than masonry. You run wires and pipes through stud cavities. With brick, you're chasing walls, cutting channels, and adding complexity at every step. As a project manager back in the day, I saw this firsthand. Wood frame builds are cleaner to coordinate across all the trades. So when someone online says, just build with brick, they're not asking for a different material, they're asking for a completely different economical model. Now, if you're watching this and you're thinking about getting into the trades, carpentry, construction, or any high-paying blue-collar career, I partnered with Course Careers because they actually connect you with employers. Not just a certificate, real job placement, real career paths. Check the link in the description for the free intro course, guys. It costs you nothing to look because what I'm about to tell you next is the reason that completely flips the brick is stronger argument right on its head. Alright, this is the one that's going to change how you think about this entire debate. The number one argument for brick is strength. Brick is stronger. Brick lasts longer. Brick can take a hit. It sounds logical, right? But in an earthquake, brick is a death sentence. And that's not my opinion, that's structural engineering. Wood frame buildings, they're lighter. They have natural flexibility. When the ground shakes, a wood frame flexes. It absorbs energy. It moves with force instead of fighting it. Brick and masonry, however, it's rigid, brittle. When big forces hit a brick wall, it doesn't flex, it cracks, it crumbles, and it collapses. The 1994 Northridge earthquake in California caused billions of dollars in damage, and the buildings that held up the best were wood frame residential structures. The ones that collapsed, unreinforced masonry. So when someone says brick is stronger, ask them, stronger against what? Because against the forces that actually threaten American homes, wood wins, and it's not even close. I'll tell you something personal. When I was framing houses, I used to think about this. You're standing inside the skeleton of 2x4s and you think, this looks light, this looks fragile. Then, when you sheath it with plywood or whatever you're using, you nail off every connection. And suddenly, this thing is solid. It's locked in. But if the ground starts shaking, it gives you just enough to stay standing. That's not a weakness, that's good engineering. Now, we're at reason number 5, and this is the one you will never see in a YouTube comment section, I can almost guarantee it. The entire American building code system wasn't designed around wood. The International Residential Code, state and local building codes, fire ratings, structural load tables, span charts, fastener schedules, all of it was built with wood frame construction as the default. So when a builder pulls a permit in America, wood framing is the path of least resistance. The code is written for it. The inspectors know it. The supply chain supports it. And the labor force is trained in it. In Europe, the building code system evolved differently. Their codes were built around masonry and concrete because that's what they had. It's not that one system is right and the other one's wrong. It's that each system was built around the materials and the labor that were available at the time. And once a code system is in place, it self-reinforces. So when Europeans ask, why don't you just use brick? They're not just asking you to swap one material for another, they're asking you to throw out 200 years of building codes, to retrain every carpenter in the country, restructure the entire supply chain, and convince every building inspector in 50 states to learn a new system. That's why America builds with wood. It's not a choice, it's an ecosystem, and it works. Now, let me bring this back to the craft, because this is the part that the internet crowd will never understand. I've stood inside a wood frame house on the first day of framing it when there's nothing but a slab and a pile of lumber, and I've stood in that same house 2 weeks later with walls up, roof on, and a family getting ready to move in. That's not a miracle, that's carpentry. That's a crew of skilled tradesmen turning raw material into someone's home in a matter of days. Try doing that with brick. When people call American houses cheap or flimsy, they're insulting the craft of every carpenter who ever swung a framing hammer. Because our homes, these houses properly built, last over 100 years. They survive earthquakes, they survive hurricanes, and when they're built to code, they are built with renewable resource. Wood comes from tree farms. It can be replanted. Brick and concrete, the carbon footprint of manufacturing those materials is massive compared to wood. And here's the thing that really gets under my skin sometimes. The same people online who mock American wood houses, they're living in countries where they can't afford to buy a home at all. Part of the reason American home ownership has been accessible for generations is because wood frame construction keeps costs down. It's not a compromise, it's a feature. So let me bring this full circle. Why do American carpenters use wood to build houses? 5 reasons. 1, we had more timber than any nation on earth. 2, a carpenter in 1833 invented a framing system so efficient it settled the entire American frontier. 3, the math doesn't lie. Wood is faster, cheaper, and easier to build with its scale. 4, wood outperforms brick in earthquakes and big catastrophe events. And 5, the entire American building code system was designed all around it. Europe didn't choose brick because it's better, they chose brick because they ran out of trees. And America didn't choose wood because it's cheap, we chose wood because it's the best tool for the job. And the guys who build it every day, carpenters, are some of the most skilled, unappreciated tradesmen in this country if you ask me. So that's the answer, from a carpenter. Now, if you want to see what other blue-collar trades are crushing it right now, or you want the full breakdown on which skilled trades are paying the most right now, make sure and check out the 2 videos I recommend on this end screen. I built those for guys like you. And make sure and hit that notification bell, guys, and like this video if you got some cool information. I'm JV. I'll see you on the next one.